Hey Internet, it's Tim. I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of this VR step sequencer thing that I've been making for the past little bit. It's as far as timing goes, it's pretty rock solid. I'm a bit picky with timing and using Unity's new DSP timer functions, I've been able to get something pretty rock solid. There's a couple bugs and quirks, but beta software. So this is version one. It's just to give you kind of general overview and a concept of where I'm thinking of going with this. It's not super usable, but you get the idea. So I'm going to be giving you the demo. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second. Let me just put this on. Oh, let me just put this on. Ooh. Okay, here we are. We're in VR land now. Okay, so I've got, yeah, this is going to be something interesting to a few of you. I've got my mouse cursor here. You can see it tracks with my head movement, but I can still use the mouse with it, which is very handy. Now, the reason I have this is because I'm trying to put in, oh, can you hear that banging outside? They're redoing a deck. Okay, so we'll just ignore the banging. The reason I have this in here is because I'm trying to put in some hooks for when the Oculus Touch hand controllers come out, as well as if I port this to the Vive or do, well, use this for the Vive controllers. My main goal is to get hand control on here, okay? So I don't want to use a mouse, I don't want to use anything. I want full on Minority Report, where I'm swiping things back and forth and whoop, dragging things out and tapping, and you'll see why in a second, okay? So these three balls here, this guy, this guy, this guy, these are actually frequency range detectors. And so this one on the very left will detect frequencies from anywhere from like 20 hertz to about 120 hertz, I think I've done. The mid one detects mids from like 250 hertz up to about 2K, I think. I'm going to adjust it later, but this high one I think does 5K and up. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So I hit my magic button here, and I am now, oh yeah, here we go. This is a bit confusing, I'll explain. I see I have this cursor here moving on my left. I also have this other cursor that's exactly in the middle of my headset. So yes, I do have two cursors in here because I like to be twice as efficient with things. It's a dad joke. I'm a dad now, so I can do stuff like that. But this one is kind of cool because you have your head mounted cursor, so it's always right in the middle, which people are used to for doing Oculus demos and whatnot so far. But I've added in the mouse cursor because when you do things like this, and I just created a new step sequencer, I can go and I can drag that, whoop, and use my mouse and not have to crank my head around. Mind you, I mean, it is nice if I grab it and crank my head around with it, but here, if I look at it, you can see my head cursor appear, and then I can drag it, whoop, and it follows me wherever. I'll move my big mouse cursor out of the way here. And then I can do things like this, and I can zoom into it, place it wherever I want. If I zoom in, you see it's got a randomize, a clear. I can adjust the timing of it. I can adjust the grid size, and then I've got a sample selector here, which is going to be changed later on. Ideally, you'd be able to pick samples off your hard drive straight from your DAW or, I don't know, all sorts of things. Who knows? Early days, right? So let's put in a 4 on the floor beat, shall we? Okay, so usual step sequencer. It's got some flashy lights on it. Oh, and here we go. So you can see my low one and my mid one are going because the mid one's obviously detecting the click, the transient of the kick, so it's a little bit, it's picking up the mids. Oh, and you see the particles all around me. They're all pulsing currently with the bass, which is what you want, right? Especially when you're doing like a super trippy demo like this. Okay, so we've got the kick going. I can now go, whoop, pop over my menu again and add, let's see, I can do something neat like this. I can adjust the grid size down, and you'll see I can grab this with my mouse and go whoop, whoop, up and down. So minimum is 4 that I've got it set at right now. And occasionally, I was talking about the timing being rock solid, and that's true, but the timing between the sequencers, especially when I'm adjusting grid sizes, kind of goes out of whack sometimes. That's a bug and I need to fix it. So I've got this little tweaky thing right here, reset sequencers, and now they're all in sync again. So if I can pick a different sample, I don't know what this one is, we'll see. Oh, there we go. It's like I planned this ahead of time. So now we've got the hat sample, and I can like literally just put it over here, or I can zoom it far away if I want. And then, oh, there we go. There's some hat detection going on there. Let's add another one, okay? So let's do this, and I'm going to use the, I think if I remember right, the first sample as a base, so I can just click randomize, and I'm going to resync the sequencers just to be sure that they're actually all playing together. Don't like that one. There, that was better. Okay, so we'll put it up there, zoom it out for a bit, and then of course, for the final one, I'm going to need some sort of snare sound. So I could, I think this one is a snare. So I'll resync them just to be sure. No, it's not snare. See, put that one way over there if I want. Go grab this one. Let's put it somewhere else. Right, but you're not limited anymore by where you can put things on your screen in front of you, which I find really neat, because now I've got, barring resolution and whatnot, you've basically got this entire 360-degree plane where you can put step sequencers or data or whatever. So this is, this gets very unwieldy very fast, as you can imagine, with these giant little bars I've got above it with all the information and stuff. But as the interface gets tweaked and whatnot, you can see how this would become a super fun little thing. Now, I'm going to just turn the volume down a bit so you can yammer for a bit. There we go. Okay, so yes, the main goal is to get hand interaction, because I'm going to end up tapping each of these things, right? So like I could touch this and touch this and touch this, and because you're going to get that haptic feedback, you're going to feel like the tick on your hand, and you'll actually feel like you're tapping something. So there'll be like a hand representation of our finger, or maybe like who knows, a disembodied eyeball that you carry around. Who knows? It's VR, whatever. Do whatever you want, right? So you can see where I'm going with this. It's going to be, well, I mean, the whole VR thing is bananas, really, what you can do with it. But audio is going to be fun with it. Currently, it's early days, but we'll see what we can do. And thanks for watching.